So we know the Lakers are going to be the Lakers. There's no question about that. But who's another team that you're looking forward to watching kind of blossom this year?
There are a few that I think are going to take steps forward, but I think the two that could like into the playoff leaps that were on the, if you're looking forward at NBC Sports, we've got a list of the 5 I thought were the most improved. It's Atlanta, who I thought made a huge leap of going and getting veterans and smart players and guys who are going to complement Trae Young and win now. And then I like what Phoenix did, and Phoenix was largely one big move. It was Chris Paul, but you put Chris Paul next to Devin Booker, and by the way, now next to a healthy DeAndre Ayton, who's just going to be finishing lobs left and right. And suddenly I like that team. I like that team's chances of getting into the playoffs, although the West is like, there's just no margin for error for anybody. But like, I like their chances. But I think Atlanta is the team that made the biggest leap this year. They put players next to Trae Young at point guard, at the wing, at everywhere. And remember, I kind of count Clint Capella in this. Remember, they traded for him and played a game for them last year because he was injured. Then the shutdown came. That's an entirely different team that's going to look really dangerous next year.
We keep seeing these young players who almost like struggle on an island. They don't have help, right? You think about like Anthony Davis in New Orleans. You think about Kristaps Porzingis when he was in New York. Like there are guys who are talented, but then they kind of just, flounder for a bit without that additional help. But now Trae Young has a lot of help, and not only did he already had a nice like solid core of young guys there with most notably John Collins. But now you bring in those extra pieces, and you bring in a veteran guy like Rondo, where he can learn from and teach him that kind of IQ that will take Trae Young's game to a next level. Because the thing about Trae Young, he's incredibly talented and he's spectacular to watch, but he does not make the best shot decisions. The shot selection is questionable. And I think when you have a guy like Rondo who's been there, done that, and knows the game in and out, that's going to take Trae Young's game to a whole new level.
Right. I think Rondo, and by the way, they get Chris Dunn for when they need to lock guys down at the point, which is Chris Dunn's a really good defender. The other thing I'll just say to watch there, they've loaded up that front court. There's a lot of talk around the league about John Collins on the move. We'll see if that happens, but remember, his payday is coming up. He's at the end of his rookie deal, and he's a 20-10 guy. Like he's bouncy as all get out. Like he's got some hops. He's going to get buckets, but I don't think the Hawks are convinced they want to pay him what he's going to be paid on the open market, and they're going to look around. We'll see if they end up trading him, but there's a lot of buzz that he can be had in a deal if you're willing to give the Hawks another piece to help them now.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd let him walk, but I'm not the GM. That's the GM's problem to deal with. And when you're talking about the Suns too, you mentioned it. You had DeAndre Ayton, you have a Devin Booker who's feeling very confident playing at the top of his game. And we saw what Chris Paul did in OKC when they had less than a 1% chance to get to the playoffs. He took them there. And he had Dennis Schroeder, who obviously blossomed into his own kind of position. Now is going to go help the Lakers maybe get a repeat. But I would love to see Chris Paul's effect on Devin Booker moving forward, because Devin Booker's already there, and with Chris Paul 1-2 punch, that could be extremely dangerous.
You know what else Chris Paul brings? That's a team. Look, with Robert Sarver putting goats in his GM's office type of culture. Chris Paul's not going to have that. Not only with ownership, like he's not going to have it in the locker room. He is a culture changing guy going into a situation that needs a culture change. And that's, I think that part of it's going to be huge for them.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what happens in both of those areas.